when you were pursuing the program, did you have colleagues that had full funding from the department?
The one with the highest level of funding was
And you got 20% scholarship. How did you cover the rest? Did you go for the interview with a loan, like Empower loan? Because I think a lot of students going to University of New Haven and other schools, they go for a loan to cover the deficit. Is that what you did?
2024. That was when they brought the Empower loan into the school. But with respect to application to schools, I didn't really spend anything. So I was looking for something that is like a problem in Ghana that might be something concrete for me to go and tell the consulate. So I did a research and realized that, people that go for retirement, so you need to be able to identify a problem that the program you are going to read will be able to, solve that particular problem.
You did not get enough sleep, but did you get enough money from that internship?
Yes, I got enough money from it.
Yeah, I naturally wouldn't have recommended that school like the way I am, because I am interested in
funding, good
funding.
Yeah, I watched your videos and I was asking myself that if I knew of all these things earlier, I think...
What are the steps that you took to help get the full funding?
First of all, I realized that there was a problem with my resume, there was a problem with my SOP, then there was a problem with...
Hi guys, welcome to another episode of the Shy Pod. This is an episode that you are really going to enjoy. So I have Shadrack with me, and he's going to share his insights about the study abroad journey and other things as well. So I haven't actually asked Shadrack what he's been doing, and but I think he's done with school, all of that, which he's going to tell us. Shadrack, good to see you, and welcome to the Shy Pod.
Thank you very much, and nice having me too.
Are you in school now?
I'm done with school now, so yeah, I graduated in May.
Okay, that's nice. Congrats again. Yeah, because I saw your graduation photos and all of that. Okay, we are going to look into whether you've gotten a job yet and all of those things. But now I want to understand your study abroad journey. When did it begin? And can you tell me everything that went through the process?
Well, I started the whole thing in 2021. We graduated from UCC in 2021. So during our national service time, I was doing my national service at the School of Educational Development Studies in UCC, more or less like Institute of Education there. So that was when I started the whole, application process. So in 2021, I applied to schools in the US and the schools in the UK. And then I got admission into some of the schools in the United Kingdom, University of Stirling and SWAS University and all others. And then I also got admitted into schools in the United States, Canisius University. I got admitted to the University of New Haven that I graduated from. And I also got admitted to other universities. I got like 5 admissions to the universities. But all of them, they were not given enough funding. So I kind of, waited for the University of New Haven that came, and then it came in November 2021. So I was supposed to come for spring camp, which is January 2022. But unfortunately for me, I couldn't get the date. So I applied for emergency appointment, and then I forgot to add the most important document, which was my service fee payment. I didn't, the MRV receipt. I didn't add the MRV receipt to the document I was submitting for them to grant me the emergency. So they denied my emergency. So the only option I had was to defer my program to the next year. So I came in July.
Yeah.
I took off from Ghana to the 1st of July, and then I came here in the United States, University of New Haven, on the 1st of August. So it wasn't easy going through the process of application. Some of the schools, they take application fee and all of that. Others too don't take. So in the course of the process, I think because we were new to the system, we made a lot of errors, even with our resumes and then our SOPs. If you look at the resume by then, it was so bombarded. Like I had to take other people's resume, add it to my own, try to coin their resume into my own. And so it was kind of a very big resume. And then the SOP too, we had to consult people who have done it before. And so some of the things that were really speaking about them, we didn't know it was actually for them. So we inculcated them all into our own. So it wasn't reflecting in our
Yeah.
transcript and then our certificate here and there. So that was kind of I didn't really bag a lot of. I had admissions, but I didn't really get a lot of funding for the admissions that I got.
Good office.
Yeah, I didn't really get good of. When I was coming to the University of New Haven, I think I came with like a 20% scholarship, which was actually very small. I think it was very, very small. But I got other schools though, which were going to give me a good offer after I have arrived in the school. But I couldn't take that chance because
Yeah.
with nothing at all and going to the embassy, I knew it wouldn't go well. So I had to take the 20% school and then I came
Yeah.
in. So I came in 2023, I guess, first, and then uh, that is how I went through the whole process.
Yeah. The resume thing, I have made a video about the resume, and I showed students how to do your own resume from beginning to the end.
Yeah, I think
In a video format.
I watched one of the videos of yours when I was applying for schools for my fiancée. I used your resume. You shared a certain resume on one of your videos. So I took my time and I wrote every little thing down.
Yeah.
And then I was able to draft my fiancee's resume and everything. And
Yeah.
has she has a
Nice.
she has admission to the University of Massachusetts Boston, fully funded. It covers entire tuition fee with monthly stipends and
Mm.
tuition. The resume template that
Wow.
one of the videos you did a resume. So
Wow.
yeah, I started following you for a while, but just that
Yeah.
I was following from
Yeah.
afar. Yeah,
Yeah. So like I was saying, some of the students, I put a link to the completed resume in the description. So some students, they will open the link, and then instead of them to download and then edit it or something, or look at what I had put there, they will request for edit access. So they want to edit it directly. And initially I gave people edit access, and people will go and edit the thing and then mess up everything. So I was like, what is going on? But yeah, sometimes you cannot just pick somebody's resume and just edit it like that. Sometimes you probably want to go in more, and or even do everything from the beginning. That's why I
yeah,
made the video. But
yeah,
some students, they just don't see it like that. In your case, you were trying to come in November 2021, but then you arrived in the US in August
yeah.
2023. What about the 2022? What happened?
So it was 2021 when we graduated, and I had that admission. We graduated in 2021, and
So
service was
2022.
service
Okay.
was in 2022. So in 2021, when I got those admissions, I think I was still in school, so I couldn't come. So in 2022, that I
Okay.
deferred the whole thing to 2023. So the whole process during the national service was in 2022.
So your main reason for choosing the University of New Haven was the 20% scholarship, right?
Yes, I chose that particular school
Like it's one
because
of the reasons.
among all other schools, it was the only school that gave me a little funding. Aside that, too, I also had some one-on-one contact with the professors here in the school whilst I was home. I had one-on-one, Zoom meetings and all of that with them. And so majority of them shared a lot of documents in the school with me. They shared, even before I came, I had a lot of documents that I could, read before I even came into the system. So it was kind of, the relationship they had with me, even though I wasn't here, was great. Anytime I send them an email, it takes me few minutes for them to be able to respond to my email. So that was kind of, I saw that the school has that kind of relationship with its, students. So unlike other schools that I got admitted into, it takes them some weeks before they will also, respond to emails and all of that. And that was kind of difficult for me because at times you really need them to respond to a particular mail so you would know your way forward. But it wasn't like that. So I think this school, I picked it because of these kind of reasons.
Did you know anyone in the school before you applied to the school?
Or when I applied to, when I saw, in fact, when I saw the school, I didn't even know where the school was until I started diving deeper into the school. So I didn't know anybody in the school. But after I got admission and then I got my visa approved, and then I was coming, I reached out to the school that I need an international student, precisely a Ghanaian, to speak to. So when I sent that email, they also sent me the African student president's contact. And then that is how I got to know that guy in the school. Yeah.
What did you study in the school?
I studied Masters in Science, Finance, and Financial Analytics.
Your background is in academics.
Yes.
You have a bachelor's degree in economics. So why did you decide to switch from economics to financial analytics?
Like even in the undergrad, actually, I didn't want to study economics even when I came to undergrad. My main aim
Mm.
was to study something related to education. So when I came undergrad, I wanted to be an education student, but the forms I gave the money to a friend of mine to buy the form and fill it. So when he filled the form, instead of education, he chose non-education program. So when I even came to the school, I thought it was education, only for me to know it wasn't. So I had to continue. So the economics, I studied it, but I didn't really want to become an economist, even though we were doing well in it. My main focus was to shift into, the finance sector right after we finished the school because whilst working at the School of Educational Development and Outreach, I got to, experience one or two finance with respect to the accountant office and all of that. So I got so much interested in it. So I wanted to shift from economics to study finance. So whilst, applying for the schools, majority of the schools I applied were all business analytics and then finance analytics. That is what I wanted to really do because I saw that in the long run, if I'm to return to Ghana with economics, with my aim not to be a lecturer, because I didn't want to be a lecturer. So with my aim not to be a lecturer, I knew that economics, majority of the issue is to just enter into the lecturership position or just find yourself doing banking or social security job and all of that. But I realized that with the finance, you can also enter into other businesses yourself, personal own businesses and all of that. So I really wanted to enter into something like that. And one of the things I also cherish so much is the investment banking. I really wanted to have like an investment bank to myself. So I wanted to experience how, the finance it to get more knowledge and to get certificate in it in order to venture into the investment banking.
Which means you haven't regretted your decision, right?
No, no, not at all.
After finishing.
No, not at all. Not at all.
How many universities would you say you applied to?
Overall, I think I applied to like 8 universities.
Okay.
Yes.
Why did you apply to those schools? Is there a particular reason why you applied to those particular schools?
Prior to the application, I sat down and I really wanted to, know which schools are, with respect to the finance and all of that. I really wanted to know which schools are in doing well in finance and which of them gives adequate funding to their student. So I really sat down and then I wrote all of them down. And I said, I watched videos back then, with respect to these schools. So every school I watch, I go check their, intake requirement and all of that with respect to the finance because I really wanted to enter into this school. So when I was done with everything, I got that 8 concrete universities that I knew that, these schools are good. Also, the second reason was the fact that back then you don't have enough money to be paying enough, application fees here and there. So I was also channeling my attention to schools that are application free schools. So I got those were the reasons why I picked all those schools because the first was the application free. The second was the fact that they are more like a business related school. There are schools that are just science school, but they have business in addition and all other programs joining. But I really wanted school that are solely for business and then maybe all other departments are just supportive department, but their main focus is on the business. That is how I was able to get those schools. Yeah.
Which means that all the schools you applied to didn't require the application fee.
The ones, it was only 2 of them that required application fee. Only 2 of them. And even with the 2, I sent them an email to the program coordinator directly. I sent them a direct email, requesting for application fee waiver. So they waived it for me. For those 2 schools,
What
they
are those
waived.
schools?
It was New Mexico. New Mexico, as at then they were taking, and then Delaware, they were taking application fee. Yeah.
So you mentioned that you check for funding. Did you check for funding regarding your program before you applied to the University of New Haven?
Yeah, I checked for the funding. And when I checked for the funding, what was written over there is a departmental funding. So it's like this the department will give you funding, and then we have the dean's scholarship, and then that of the provost scholarship. So when I saw this 3 package, I thought, it's very laudable. So when I applied, and as I said earlier, So I knew that I didn't get majority of those offers because as I said, my resume was way out, my SOP was
Yeah.
way out. Even though when I looked at it myself, I thought I had really written, but after reviewing some of the document of yours and other people, I realized that no, I made an error in a lot of them. And so I believe that, so I got the dean's scholarship instead of the provost and that of the department because of this document reasons and all of that. But when I researched, they really had that funding of it.
Okay, let me ask more. In your program, when you were pursuing the program, did you have colleagues that had full funding from the department,
Uh,
or they were all
I think the
scholarships?
highest person the one with the highest like level of funding was like 75%. Yeah, there are people that got
Yeah, that 75
75%
is not
scholarship.
bad.
Yes, yes, it wasn't bad at
Mhm.
all. Yeah.
What is what is the cost of attendance to the University of New Haven?
As our time in 2023, it was everything together with your, living expenses and everything is like $32,565. Yeah.
But right now, I think it's much
Now
more than
it's
that.
40,000. Now it's 40,000.
You see, yeah, University of New Haven. When I make videos, I tell people not to apply to University of New Haven
It is very, very,
because
it's kind of expensive. And one thing is like that their funding rate, more or less, like it's not enough. So it's the
yeah,
highest funding goes for like specific people, you know,
yeah,
and it goes through
yeah,
thorough process in getting it. So
yeah. Yeah, that is actually my main reason why I don't recommend
yeah,
that.
yeah,
I mean, every school in the US is a good school, but where we come from, funding is extremely important to
yeah,
us. And so there are certain schools I tend not to recommend to
yeah,
our students. And also the competition, University of New Haven, people get either free application, people don't pay application fee. Either it's
yes,
free, or if it's not free, there is a waiver. So it's like everybody is applying to the school because
yeah.
it's free. And I keep telling them the competition is going to be too much. With what I do, I don't remember ever coming across anyone with even up to the 75% funding that you are talking about going to
Most
University of
of
New
them
Haven.
that get it, most of them get it are Indians. And this time around, as at that time when they were not taking admission, like application fee, it because they
Mm,
needed a lot of international students in the university. But now they have a lot
mm,
of international students. So as I'm talking to you now, they take application fee of $50
wow.
because now they've gained the international recognition. When we were coming in, the enrollment deposit was $500. But in 2024, those that came, it was $2,000. And
Wow.
so the student body complained, and then the International Student Association, went in and they reduced it to $1,000. So now enrollment deposit is $1,000, but as our time, it was just $500.
Yeah, that's actually a lot.
Yeah,
$1,000. Yeah, personally, when I look at schools that require enrollment deposits, I don't encourage people applying to those schools because yeah, if I pay the enrollment deposit, some schools they refund it. I don't know about your school if they refund it, but some schools they won't refund
so
it.
here you only pay for the enrollment deposit when you've gotten your visa approved.
Okay,
Yeah, if you have not been approved, you don't pay for the enrollment deposit.
okay. So what is the enrollment deposit for?
Is to
Because I
if
thought
you
it.
get your visa approved, you need to be given access to your portal for you to be able to upload one or two things and register and everything. You will never get access to the portal until your enrollment deposit is paid. Yeah, so the
So
enrollment deposit is to just give you access to the online platform of the university in order to register and all of that. Yeah.
so if my visa interview is in August, that means I'm not going to get access to the portal until I have gotten my visa approved,
Yeah, yeah.
right? That
Until
kind of
you've gotten your visa approved and then you have, uploaded your visa and you have made payment for the enrollment deposit. Until then, you
wow.
can get it. Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about your funding. You got 20% scholarship.
Yeah.
How did you cover the rest? Did you go for the interview with a loan, like Empower loan? Because I think a lot of students going to University of New Haven and other schools, they go for a loan to cover the deficits. Is that what you did?
No, as for our time in 2023, the school wasn't under Empower loan. So we
So you had
we
a
didn't
sponsor.
have any loan here. So I went with an
Okay.
interview, like a bank statement of an auntie of mine. Yeah.
Okay.
Then I came.
What? So when you got to the US, did you try the Empower loan at some point to,
So when we
you know,
when we came in, there wasn't still the school wasn't under Empower loan. So there was another loan that was linked with our investors called the 8B loan.
okay,
So when we came, we all went for the 8B loan for the first semester because I didn't know how loan system works in this country and all of that. So I didn't want to enter into debt. So I just went in for the top up of my tuition fee
yeah,
from the loan company, and then
yeah,
I had together with the scholarship I had, and then I was able to cover the rest of the tuition. That is how I did it. And then later on, the student body complained because the 8B loan people were not funding every program. So if you are not reading a STEM program, the loan doesn't give you the money. So a lot of students who were not reading STEM programs were not getting the money from the 8B.
yeah.
So when they complain, I think the school liaised with the Empower, and then they brought Empower. So in 2024, that was when they brought the Empower loan into the school. And come and see, it was like a speed for every student body, like everybody, because this school don't joke with their money. They don't joke with their money at all. Yeah.
So you mentioned the loan system. If I am coming and I want to go with a loan, what would be your advice to me? Like, let's say a loan of $40,000 from Empower.
I think
Should I take it?
I would advise students to try their best to, get funding, because coming in with loan, you are forever going to be indebted to. You are going to be in debt because it's not easy. And the moment you get the loan or they give you the loan, the next month after they disburse the money to you, you are going to start payment of the loan. So assuming you are not getting any source of income from anywhere, it means that you are going to be in trouble. So students who took the loan use the loan to service the loan.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's not ideal. Did you evaluate your transcript?
No, I didn't.
And given that you avoided the application fee, do you know how much you spent in the whole process? Is there something else you did apart from interview stuff? Like, I mean, anything
Yeah.
that you did to get admission? Did you?
No, not really. I seriously didn't spend much apart from the visa processing and all of that. But with respect to application to schools, I didn't really spend anything. Yeah.
Yeah. So if I come to you that I want to study abroad and I want to avoid application fee just like you, what is your advice to me? Do you think it's a
Yeah.
good
So
strategy?
no, I will seriously inform the people that, like, these days application fee is part of the decision making for the universities. It's part of
Mm,
their decision making for you to be able to grab a certain level of funding and all of that. Now application fee is part of the decision making of the universities. I tried my best to apply for schools for some of my friends, and all those that I applied which were free don't really give adequate funding to students. Some of them don't even give at all because once they make it free, there's no way you get something from it. So I always advise people that at least, if you are applying to schools, two of the schools you should be able to apply and pay for the application fee, because some of these schools really
yeah.
give adequate funding to students because now it is part of their decision making. So I don't
Mm,
encourage people to put all their hope in application free schools because it wouldn't make sense in the end for you. It wouldn't really make sense for you. You may
yeah.
submit every document, but it wouldn't make sense if you really want to enjoy the benefit of being here. And one of the advice I give to people is that if you come in without funding, it's you wouldn't like America. It will be as though you are still in Ghana, because the pressure in trying to fit into everything and to sponsor yourself and everything, it wouldn't be easy for you. So I advise people at least pay for the application fee, because it's part of their decision, and it gives you upper hand over somebody that just called in for a waiver and all of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I will
That's
advise them
true.
to
Yeah.
at least two of the universities or three, they should be able to try their best and pay for it. Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for this advice. I keep telling them, but sometimes when they hear it from somebody who has been through the process and all of that, I think that has a lot of weight. So yeah, that's good. Your visa interview, you had only 20% scholarship. Can you tell me why you were able to get your visa approved? Like, why do you think? How were you able to convince the visa officer?
All right, so even before I got there, like it wasn't an easy thing, but let me go to the visa itself. So,
You can
so
tell me everything about the process and
yeah.
yeah.
So you know how it works. You are supposed to pay for your service fee and all of that. So I sent one of the one that handed over to me as Christian Council president back then was here. So he was supposed to pay for me, but the money and everything was ready. But it took 3 days later, like 3 days for me to go to the interview. That was when he sent someone to go and pay, and the Western
Mm,
Union system wasn't working. It wasn't working. So the third day it didn't
yeah.
work. The second day it didn't work. A day to the interview, it was still not working. So became like hell. I lost hope. I lost everything because yeah. So I was there, and then I know as this as of like pastoral work. So we started praying and all of that. And then I was there. Then he called me that he has gotten to a friend whose state it's working. So like he was going to check it. By then I think it would be like 4 p.m. here in the US. So it was like 9 p.m. in Ghana. So I knew the bank or whatever thing might have closed. You know how it is. So I was
Yeah.
there around 10 p.m. and he called me that they've been able to pay. So I should check my email. So I checked
Wow.
the email and then I received
Nice.
the receipt of it. And I didn't know how whether to
Yeah.
cry or not
Nice.
to. So I couldn't print. I was by that 3 days I was already in Accra. I had come to Accra. So I came to Accra 3 days to my interview just to survey the whole embassy area and all of that.
Yeah.
So I couldn't print it. So that I left the house early morning, like 5 a.m. and my interview was like 8 a.m. So I left like 5 a.m., went to the embassy, and then I realized that there is a printing press that comes as early as 4 a.m. So that was where I went to print it, and then, we went through the whole thing. And remember, I paid it a day before the interview. So when I go to where we do the fingerprint, everything, I did it. I went to one consulate, like checking the passport and all of that. And she mentioned my name and she said, did I pay the service fee? And I was like, yes. He said, my name isn't reflecting in the system. And then she asked me, when did I pay? And I said, I paid it a day. Yeah, I paid it yesterday. And she was like, really? Do you know you are supposed to pay at least 3 days to your interview? And I said, yes. So the way the woman folded the thing inside my passport and gave me, in her mind, probably, I wouldn't be granted because of how the whole thing was. So I went to the main consular herself. But because I was denying the emergency, it gave me the whole of 2022. From my interview was in May. So from the January coming to May, and then I was done with national service too. So it gave me ample time to really study and watch enough videos.
Yeah.
So I watched a lot of videos, and then I was also using my fiancée as my consular. So she would sit and then she would be asking me the questions and I would be answering. And sometimes I record them on my phone. So if I'm sitting in the bus with my ears, I listen to my answers and everything myself and all of that. So I think I got adequate,
Nice.
information. And because I was going to study science, I was really looking masters in science finance. I was looking for something that is like a problem in Ghana that might be something concrete for me to go and tell the consulate. So I did a research and realized that people that go for retirement, majority of them become burden to their family and all of that because they solely depend on their little social security money that comes every month. So I realized that individual savings, they didn't do savings into their own retirement. So that was my story. So mine was that I was going to, run a financial
Nice.
consultancy that will render financial advice to workers all across Ghana on the need to personally invest into their retirement. So
No.
not depending on the social security that they give them. Because if you go on the road of Accra, you see majority of the people begging, they speak good English. So you realize there are people who have worked before and all of that, but they fail to make investment into their. So that was my story. So when I go to the consulate, that was exactly what I poured out over there. And she was like, Mr. Shadrack, so why did you choose this program? Then I started explaining to her that I chose this program because, there is a particular issue which is, pensioners or people who go on retirement becoming a financial burden on their families, and some of them also having what who are also at the school going age that they are not able to cater for them, and this is because they fail to personally invest into their retirement. So I will run a financial consultancy that will render financial advice to workers all across Ghana on the need to personally invest into their retirement so that when they go on retirement, they wouldn't be financial burden to their families. So that was exactly what I said. And then from there, she started by saying, yes, when you drive in Accra, on the road, you hear them speak good English, but they'll be begging on the way. That is a very good thing that you want to come and solve it. She was impressed by the answer I gave. So she didn't even look at the funding aspect of it based on the answer that I gave. And the only thing that she said, do you have a financial support, like proof of financial support? I said, yes, I have a bank statement of my auntie. So I gave her my auntie's bank statement. She just flipped through it. I'm not sure she even looked detailed into anything. And she just gave me the white paper and approved the visa.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, your story is actually a good story, and it makes sense. It kind of shows, okay, yeah, you really need this degree to do something with it, right? A lot of people, they go and they don't know why they need a degree, so that makes sense. What are your tips for those who are preparing for their visa interviews?
Some of the tips I'll give them is that, sometimes if you don't let people interview you, you might think your answers are very correct. I remember I did an interview with a friend of mine. At the end of it, he rated me 3 out of 100, 3% out of 100. And I was like, really? But all my answers to me, they sounded very, well for me. And so I was kind of convinced within me that my answers were good. But after the interview, they made me understood a whole lot of stuff. So the first tip I'll give people who are going for interview is to let people who have gone through the process or people who are doing like yourself, they need to, work with people like you to get the best because you might think that you are doing well, but you get to know that you are not doing well when you attend an interview session with somebody. And also the next thing I would say is that the American system is more or less looking for people who will come and be doing something on their own, not necessarily to come and then work for others. I hear people that say, I'll come back and take position as this and that and that and that in this ABC company. We must bear in mind that there are a lot of people who are there and they are already applying for it, so you are kind of coming to add to it, but the system is looking for problem solvers. So you need to be able to identify a problem that the program you are going to read will be able to, solve that particular problem. And I think if people get it, they
Yeah,
will be able to coin their story very well. But if we go generic on in that particular day, I'm sure the consular might have heard a lot of people say, I'll come and take a position, I'll come and so it's like you are
yeah,
come to repeat what somebody has already said. So what is the difference
exactly.
between you and other people is your ability to, come out with a problem and a solution to that particular, problem. And then I also said to people like constant practicing of the interview is very much to build your confidence because some people do have the problem, they have the answers and all of that, but lack of confidence. But when you continuously do it, it gives you the confidence to be able to, and deal with this consulate and all of that. And I
Yeah,
think that people should also avoid the use of, unnecessary things in their words. Some people will try to bring in some grammars just to, make that thing spicy and all of that. The way the US system works, it works in a way that if it is A, tell me ABC, and then give me the essence of that ABC, not to, whine before coming to tell me and all of that. So I believe that all of them is boiled to preparation, enough preparation and getting the exact information from the experienced people. Experienced people like the last time I did the video about you, I really wanted people to come to you because I realized the knowledge you have with respect to this study abroad thing. If some of us when we're coming, we knew you before, I think we would have bagged adequate, scholarships and all of that before coming. Because majority of the things we did, we tried to do it by ourselves because we thought we knew something. But people should be open-minded in this particular process and all of that, just to get knowledge from people who have already been there before. I think when they are able to do that, it will help them a lot because it is good for you to come out and study, but lack of information, or I mean, lack of proper information, I'm not sure you'll be able to
yeah.
get a visa approved. Yeah.
Yeah, that video actually surprised me. I woke up and I was like, oh wow, like
Yeah.
thanks a lot for that. Wow. Yeah. So you got your visa approved. You reached out to the school about connecting you to Ghanaians here So they connected you to, is it just one person or
Yeah,
a
so the
group of
school
people?
sent me the number of the African student president who was a Nigerian.
Okay, so one.
Yeah, he is a Nigerian. So he
Okay.
sent, like, he was the one I was communicating with respect to, accommodation and all of that. Because, coming in, you need to find a place where you rest your head and all of that. And that was my major concern.
Yeah.
So I reached out to him about, how the whole thing should go. Yeah.
So he helped you with accommodation. What about airports? Was
Yes.
he the one who picked you up
So
from the airport?
when I reach out to him, there is a church here. It's called the Redeemed Christian Church of God, Amazing Grace. It's here in West Haven. So what they do is that they mostly pick up student because once you come automatically, they invite you to service and all of that. And as part of their evangelism, they pick up student from the airport. And our school also provide bus system, but it is for those who are coming in, the time school is resuming.
While you were pursuing your master's program, you were inducted into the Beta Alpha Psi.
Yes.
Why is that important? Why did you why so if I'm an international student coming to the US, why do you think I should join all these, societies?
All right. So the field of finance and all other fields, I don't know of others, but in the field of finance, we have the Beta Alpha Psi, we have the Gamma Society, and all of that. These are recognized bodies. It's like a whole finance all across the US. So if you're able to study finance and you're able to make it to the Beta Alpha Psi Society, what happens is that it gives you upper hand even in this job market and all of that because it's a an institution that is worldwide recognized. So when you join the body or if you are given the opportunity to join, it gives you upper hand over somebody that is just an ordinary finance student that doesn't belong to any organized body like that. So I think when I was inducted into it gave me a lot of opportunities because I was able to liaise with a lot of people who are not even here at where I am, but because I'm part of the society and all of that, you are able to meet a lot of finance gurus here and there that also gives education as to how to go about this investment, accounting and all of that. So it's a recognized body. And then I think that if you are coming as an international student and you are inducted into these bodies, it gives you the opportunity to learn from the experienced people. It comprises of people who are experienced, people in the job market and also in the education system as a whole. So I think it's very good for you to be part of it because it makes you become recognized as a finance or an accountant student.
Tell me about your internship. You had an internship,
Yeah,
right?
so I
Tell
had
me
an
about that.
internship with a tax company here. It's called Amakwesi Financial Services here in West Haven. So, well, in summer last year when I was doing the internship, it was kind of the tax season. So what I was doing was actually to compile all the people that were doing their taxing for, like, you get the details and you create. There is already existing database, so what I was doing was inserting it into the database and then running it into the main tax system to be able to, submit on their behalf. So it was kind of tedious because that time many people brought their tax document for you to do. So sleep wasn't part of, what you get. You will not get anything like sleep because people need their tax returns. And so it was kind of crazy. But I think that it gave me a lot of experience because I didn't really know how to go about it. And because I didn't get employed on campus, I wasn't really getting, I didn't know anything about this tax and all of that because if in our school, if you are employed, that is when the school will give you the opportunity. Let me even say this. In our school, if you are not employed on campus, you don't get social security. You only get social security when you do internship and then it is a paid internship. If it is paid, then you submit it to the school. The school give you a letter. You take it to the social security office, and then you get a social security. That is when you can do tax and all of that. And so I think that was the experience I got, and now it has built me up because I'm able to do one or two hustling in that area to be able to get it. So it's a very great experience.
You did not get enough sleep, but did you get enough money from that
Yeah,
internship?
yes, I got enough money from it. Yeah, it really paid very well. Yeah. Because it was kind of, that season was very tough. It was very tough season. So, and I was doing it alone with my boss. So it was kind of very tough. Yeah. And it's a private firm. So because it's a private firm, it didn't really take a lot of student. It didn't really take a lot. I think I was the only person doing internship under him. So it was kind of,
Mm.
yeah.
Yeah, given that the name is Makwesi, that means the owner or your boss is a Ghanaian,
Yeah,
right?
he's a Ghanaian. And actually, he's also like a former student of the University of New Haven. Yeah.
Okay, that's good. Do you know how many Ghanaians and how many Nigerians, or like in general, how many Africans are in your school?
I cannot be able to mention the total, but I think the Nigerians are more than the Ghanaians. In fact, yes,
Mm,
the Ghanaians only go to recognize the school more in 2023, our batch. It was our
mm,
batch that
okay.
majority of Ghanaians came to the University of New Haven. Yeah. We were
Mm,
many, like, because that was when the school was known in Ghana. And I think one of the persons that really made the school known in Ghana was Fred Effect. He really pushed that
mm,
school because then it was application free. So kind of, he made it known. So, but now we have a lot of Ghanaian students here and a lot of African students.
I see. Yeah, I naturally wouldn't have recommended that school like the way I am, because I am interested in
The funding, yeah.
funding, good
Yeah,
funding
I
before.
watched your
Yeah,
videos
I would
and
just,
I was asking myself that if I knew of all these things earlier, I think,
yeah.
yeah.
So, do you like have an idea? Like, is it like 500 Africans? Like, it doesn't have to be correct, right? Just more like based on
Yeah,
how many
yeah.
people
I
you have
think
seen.
it will be more than that. It will be more than
Mm,
that. Yeah. We have the majority are
that's
Nigerians, followed by Ghanaians, and then all other countries. Yes. Yeah. It will be more than
mm.
that.
What about international students? Is it like
Yeah, so
2,000? Like, is it
our
a lot?
school, if you look at the entire population, the highest population are Indians. The highest population of our
Mm,
school are Indians international. So basically, our school, if you cannot count of the indigents or Americans being up to 20%, I'm not sure. Majority
mm.
of us are
Wow.
international students.
Mm,
Yes, it's
yeah.
only the undergrads that are mainly Americans. But with the graduate school,
Mm.
it's full of international students.
You've shared a lot of things, and given the fact that you made a lot of mistakes and all of that, you learned from that and you were able to help your fiancé get full funding to the University of
Yeah.
Massachusetts, right?
Yes.
Boston.
Yeah.
So, if I come to you that I want to study abroad, what are the steps that I need to take? How did you help your fiancé? Like, what are the steps that you took to help her get the full funding?
First of all, I realized that there was a problem with my resume. There was a problem with my SOP. Then there was a problem with the way and manner I went about the whole thing. So what I did for her was that I gathered all her documents, her transcript and then certificate. And then I took her resume. And then I, first of all, went to, look out for American-based resume for application of schools because every country and the resume they take when it comes to application of
Yeah.
schools. One of the things that I did was the fact that I was having like 3 or 4 page resume, like somebody looking for a job. But this is just, for after I watched the video of yours, where I realized that it's supposed to be just like one page resume with relevant things relating to the program that you are going to read, the activities and everything you've done. You may have worked a lot of places, but some of them are not relevant to what you seek to study. So I read all of that from your, and I realized that no, I have to use the one that are relevant to what she's going to study. So I did that. And then with her statement of purpose, I did in such a way that whatever she said in the resume, we can find its correlation in the statement of purpose. And then also with the transcript, I used the transcript also. I said that, you know what, if I'm saying she's the best student in this, why don't I focus in a specific field? Like she's in terms of curriculum, in terms of this, she's very good in this area. So I used the places that she was able to make A in all of that, and then I channeled it into the SOP. You understand? So that when they check the transcript and the SOP and the resume, there's kind of correlation between these documents.
Nice.
And then with the how do you call recommendation, I realized that when you send professors email to do recommendation for you, they have the template which is general. I have known this person for 5 years. She's a good person and all of that. So I realized those things were not helping us. It didn't help us because it's general. So what do you have to
Yeah.
say? You are a professor or a lecturer to a specific field. That is what the person is asking you to. So I'm personally, for me, I spoke to her to talk to her professors that, you know what, we want to draft the thing for you, then you will just upload it on our
Yeah.
behalf.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
understand? So I did everything and I made sure there is a correlation between transcript, resume, and SOP. So when you find that, when you take the recommendation, you realize that, oh, I have known this. She was the best student in A, B, C, D, F, G, H. And when you check the transcript, truly, truly, she had an A. So it speaks that she was really ahead. So this is the process I went through to get her all this. And then I think I also reach out to the school more. My first thing I did is that, I'm here. So I just picked my phone since I'm here and I called the university and I told them, you know what, my fiancée is interested in studying this program here and B. So I would want to, share her document with you to go through. And so the school sent me directly the link to the application. And then I just, put everything through for her. And because, I did everything in such a way that there is correlation. Because one thing I believe is that when they print out your document, they print all of them and they put them side by side. They are checking
Yeah.
correlations in the document. So that was one thing I knew. And then it gave her the funding that she got. And this is something I never knew, I thought, back then you take somebody's SOP and what is not concerning you, you even inculcate it in your own. You are saying you are academically good and you didn't make first class. Somebody that made first class document is what we were using. You understand? So it didn't really help us. But I think this is the process I went through in securing her, the funding opportunity. And I was in constant communication with the program coordinator whilst the application was being reviewed. You understand? I was in constant communication with the coordinator, trying to find out whether they've gone ahead of, they are going ahead with the application process and everything. And so I think that with communication, because I believe that once you make yourself known to the coordinator and all of that, I think when they go for these funding meetings, they sit. So like whoever that reach out before, applying and all of that, and that person has, the document speaking the same across. I think that person is being recommended. So I didn't just leave the application inside the system for the system to just do it by itself, but I made her, yeah. So I think that helped.
Yeah. That's wonderful. What about the schools themselves? Did you pay application fee
No,
for
for
her or
for
something?
for UMass Boston, the application fee was $70. And so I think that when I didn't want to pay the application, so I sent a cool email to the school. And then I think that one of the mistakes too that we did is our emails. If you look at the subject of our email, then I had gone down to this. I didn't even know how to write the subject of the email. So some of them, the professors, they won't even open it. The coordinators don't open because the subject doesn't speak of anything. When they open it, it's too broad. So that one alone. So I just sent a cool email that application for fee waiver. And then I just sent a cool email without any emotion. I just wrote, I would like to know if they waive the application fee so that I'll be able to secure an application fee waiver. I didn't attach any emotions like I'm not financially stable and all of those words that, we say, because if you are not financially stable, that means you cannot come to the US in the first place. So I didn't express any
Exactly.
emotion. I just went straight to the point that if you guys give application fee waivers, I would want to know, no. And then they just gave it to me like that. So I think that was how I was able to, secure the.
So was that the only school you applied for her,
Yes,
or
so
you looked at others?
I applied to one school, to Canisius University. It's in New York. Yes, I applied to that school for her, but unfortunately, I didn't pay the application fee early. So their decision time passed. So when I paid the application fee, they had still not finished with it. So I had to defer the program to next year. But that school, as I said earlier, some schools is part of their decision making. So they didn't waive it. So I had to pay myself.
Yeah, Canisius, they used to waive it, in the past.
Yes, in
I
2022,
think they,
2022 it
yeah,
was free. But in
yeah,
2023, as I said earlier, all these schools were trying to gain international recognition. So once they got
Yeah.
it, now if you go to Kanisha, a lot of UCC students are there. So
Yeah.
that's like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah. Because I think 2 years ago there were probably like 5 students or so
Yes,
from
yes,
Ghana. So
yes,
yeah.
yes.
But right now, yeah. That's interesting. Yeah. So are there schools that you would recommend for anyone who wants to study abroad? Are there some schools that you've come across and you think these schools are very good when it comes to funding for international students?
Yes, I think what some of the schools I will recommend is the UMass Boston, I said, and then Canisius is basically for those who are into higher education and all of
Yeah.
that. Yes, if
Yeah.
you want to pursue higher education, I think is best. And then Ohio, Anton is also one of the
Yeah.
schools that
Athens.
is,
Yeah.
yes, it's also giving a lot of funding opportunities to students.
Yeah.
They are doing very well. And then I think there is a school, Mississippi, a school in Mississippi. They also
Is it Southern
Southern,
University of Southern Mississippi?
yes, they
Yeah.
are also give a lot of funding to their international students. And then I know of Delaware, but with Delaware they they give funding to the student, but not everybody. You have to go, like the competitiveness of the document and all of that. It count a lot. And then one of the schools that I'll say is Ball State University. This Ball
Yeah.
State
Ball State.
University, they also give enough funding to
Yeah.
their international students and met some of them too.
Those are actually good schools. Yeah. They have the track record. Yeah. So right now, what are your plans? You finished your master's program. Are you in the job market or you have a job already?
Yeah, so now I'm working as an accountant for a firm, as
Nice.
part of my SOP. I'm working
Wow.
for a firm as an accountant. Yeah.
Nice. Congrats. Congrats. Yeah, nice one. Is there something that I should have asked you? Have I asked you everything that I'm supposed to ask you?
I think we have exhausted everything, but I think that for me personally, one of the things I would say is that it is good for people to have the ambition to come and study abroad. But there are a lot of things that people don't say. Many of the students who come here don't know how to go about the education system. It's very important. A lot of international students come here and they fail. Academically, they fail. It's because of the fact that, some of them didn't get funding and all of that. And so payment of tuition fee becomes problem and they have to here and there. So the
Yeah.
advice I'll give is that people should pay much attention to your videos in order to get the best out of it. Because coming to a country where you don't know what transpires and you don't have the financial capability to stay here, it becomes very frustrating, especially when you want
Yeah.
to come and study. It is not easy like that. So if people will pay attention to your videos and they will do the right thing, I think they will enjoy being here. One of my guys that got accepted into Canisius, he came with fully funded scholarship and he's enjoying himself. And at the end of the day, if you take loan, don't forget that you are going to service the loan every month. And
It's not easy.
whilst you are in school, you might think that the amount you pay is less. But the moment you're out of school, it shoot. They will add the principal to the interest, and boom, you are paying like $900, $800, $700. And if you check if and right after school, it's not everybody that gets a job instantly.
Yeah.
So people shouldn't depend on the fact that because there is Empower Loan, they've put much of their focus to get Empower Loan and come. I think it's not advisable, but if they will pay attention to your videos and then they will do well in their application, they will be able to get funding and come here because there are more opportunities here. But if you don't come in well, it will take you a little time before you can find out the whole opportunities
Yeah.
in it. And so I think that is basically that. And then the living standard over here too. I think it's something that is also something we need to. There are mistakes, and I think your platform can correct it. Students that take student loan, and the moment they come, here when you take the student, the loan disperses it to the school, and the school takes their own. The rest you call for, reimbursement, they give it back to you. And the first thing that students do is to buy car out of it. You understand? Yeah, they buy car out of it instantly because I know car is needed over here is needed, but if you're a student and proximity to your school is not that far in Dogono, I don't think it's advisable. because it also comes with servicing. You pay, how do you call it, insurance and all of
Insurance.
that.
Yeah.
And they don't come easy. You understand? They don't come easy. And so the advice I will use your platform to give people is that when you come in and it is school that you are here, focus and study. Because if you are not able to academically perform, if an indigene is getting 3.5 and graduating, and you're also getting 3.5, there's no difference between you. And remember, the job market, when we get there, all these things count. And so when they look at the two of you and they weigh, he got three, you also got, already, the fact that you are not a citizen, you are already disqualified. So your academic, performance can give you a little opportunity. So students should come in and study and then focus and then, unfold their life one after the other. And they should also connect with people that are already here. You understand? The knowledge is too broad, and like someone like you, anybody that comes into the system should be able to connect to you because you have stayed here for a while and you know how the whole system runs, even though it differs from state to state. Basically, the
Yeah.
whole idea is almost the same. And so I think that
Mm.
people should liaise with people that are already here to know their way out here and there.
This interview has been really wonderful. I didn't know how this was going to go, but there are so many things that you've shared, which in a way no one has actually shared it the way you've shared it. Like you've given a lot of insight about the loan. You've said so many things about the loan. I was really interested in this interview because of what I had been saying about the University of New Haven, that students, it's not, I don't recommend it. I kept telling students, and it's not just University of New Haven, University of Bridgeport, um, then a few other ones too. Just because of the fact that I tell students that these two schools they don't have the track record of giving good funding to international
Not
students.
at
I've
all.
seen so many people going to these schools, and it's always maybe 10,000, and then you have a deficit of 20,000
Yep.
or 40,000, all these things.
Yep.
So, but then meanwhile, the other schools which are going to give you a lot of funding, such that your deficit will be 0 or maybe 5,000, which is still okay, or 10. Even if your deficit is 10,000, it's okay.
Yep.
But if you have a deficit of 30,000, like how are you going to pay,
Yeah.
right? And
And
even the visa interview,
majority
yeah,
of them, their focus is on application free schools. That is the
yeah,
mistakes they are doing. They don't
yeah.
know that that application that is even free, you are paying for it indirectly when you come to the school. It is
Yes,
inculcated
yes.
in the tuition, but you don't know.
That's
So
yeah.
it's not as free as you see it to be free. Yeah, it's not
There's
free.
there's
Yeah,
there's no free lunch anywhere. Yeah,
yeah.
you've shared a lot of insights, and I really appreciate this. The visa interview, your story is wonderful. Like I don't remember anyone who talked about his story like this. Your story is a powerful story. Like it's like yeah, it's it's a real issue you want to address, and when you present it like that, you had a funding of only 20%.
Yeah.
Yet because of the story, it was easy for your visa to be approved.
Very easy. It took
Yeah,
me just barely 3-4 minutes to leave there.
yeah. And also, when you came, you made a lot of mistakes, and you learned from that. You were able to use those mistakes to help your fiancée, and
Yeah.
now she has full funding. You talked about a lot of strategies, the correlation between the SOP, the resume, the recommendation letters, like the transcript as well. That correlation that you mentioned is really important.
Yeah.
I think we don't pay attention to all these things, but these are tiny things which make big differences.
Yeah.
So anyone who watches this video, I'm very sure is going to learn so much. I really appreciate this. Like honestly, I really appreciate this because
You
you
see a
share
lot of
so many
people
things.
that says I have first class, but still I don't get funding and
Yeah,
all of that. Some of these reasons are the reasons why people don't get funding,
yeah,
even though they have first
yeah,
class.
yeah, yeah. This is very true. Yeah, you've shared a lot of wonderful things, and my subscribers are really going to appreciate this. I personally, I have learned so much from this interview. So just imagine other people are going to learn so much more. So that's really good. I really thank you. If someone wants to follow you, where can they find you?
Seriously speaking, I'm one of the people that do close, personal stuff. I always want to recommend people who are on the face and they are doing their job well. Like, in fact, everybody around me, the first thing I tell them, if they ask me, I say, go and watch Shaibu's platform. Everybody, everybody, because I see the passion you have for this work. You understand? Because I don't think that people who are doing it passionately like the way you are doing it. And I know the testimonies that are coming out of your platform. So personally for me here, I would tell people to rather follow you than to, to follow me, because I know if I have any input and I personally reach out to you, you take it and then you will channel it to people. But your platform is very broad, and that it captures the attention of a lot of people. So I will say that people should pay attention to your platform if they really want to come to the US for their study abroad journey. Because I have watched other people and the kind of videos that they do and all of that. And seriously speaking, there is one thing I didn't say about this mock interviews and all of that. I don't think people should enter into certain mock platforms. I will say this and say it again, because I remember joining a platform before I came, and the kind of answers they were giving on that platform, and the facilitators, their responses to it. If you are there and you are somebody that you don't have adequate funding, you might feel intimidated, like, because they can say to you point blank, this is wrong, this is this. But with yours, you are able to present the essence, the reason why this shouldn't be like that. Others, they just condemn it. By yours, you are able to tell that this is the reason why I'm saying don't do this, don't do that, don't do that.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm saying people shouldn't just find themselves anywhere at all. But your platform is the best platform, because at a point it got me confused. So I left all the mock platforms and I was on my own, because the responses I was hearing, even with respect to people that says like, and my father is this, he works at this, and those kind of like literal something that people say and all of that, they don't really have something
Yeah.
concrete to say. So it becomes like an internet answers and all of that. And so, but I've listened to you,
Yeah.
and I don't see that you give advice to people, and your advices are not like internet based answers. So I think it's good. People should rather channel their focus on your platform, and then make sure they get the best from your platform. Yeah.
Yeah. But I'll still leave you
Or they can
your
just
links
reach
in
out to
the.
me on LinkedIn, like it's just Shadrack Mensah like
Okay.
that. If they go to TikTok,
Okay.
it's Quaps. They can just search for
Okay.
Quaps, and then they'll find me on TikTok. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks so much. Thanks a lot, Shadrack. Thanks. And I hope we get to talk again.
Yeah, sure.
Nice things come
In
your way,
fact,
and then we
I
get to
am
talk
I am
about this.
willing to help any little way I can to support your platform to, grow, because anything good, we need to be able to put in energy to propagate it and make it reach out there. And I tell you, it's not only Ghanaians that are on your platform. Sometimes I watch and I see people from all other,
Yeah.
different parts of the world, and you are interviewing them. I'm just like, wow. And so I would say that you are doing a great job personally, even though I didn't know you earlier on, but
Yeah.
now I feel like you are doing a great job, and then I would really recommend your platforms. And from time to time, you see me do videos, letting people know of your platforms and here and there. Yeah,
Uh, thanks so much.
you're welcome, boss.